Norman freaking Powell sticks a dagger through every Cavaliers fan across the globe and gets the Raptors their 9th consecutive W, beating the Cleveland Cavaliers 115-109. This is the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajit, and who would have thought that Norman Powell would be one of our closers when we first drafted him in 2015? The way his seasons have been the last couple of years, the way his seasons have gone, he looked like a trading piece. He looked like a piece we just had to get rid of because he wasn't living up to his potential. And he's starting to show why we had trust in him from the get-go and why we gave him that $42 million contract earlier than we should have. But god damn, did he come through for us. He closed out that game on his own with an 8-2 run. I know Darius Garland hit a 3 to cut the lead to like 4, but then free throws down the line with Norman Powell, Pascal, Siakam, knocking them down when it mattered. It closed the game out for us, and we got the W, another W against Cleveland Cavaliers. What's really new, though? Without LeBron James, what's really new, though? Before we get into the details and take a deep dive into what went down tonight, I just want to talk about something from a previous video that I said today. I dropped an All Star video talking about the NBA changes, like the rules to the 2020 All Star game. And there was something that sounded a little confusing, but then I went back and read it, and I understood what they were saying. I was tripping out, but I honestly thought that the person that wrote it was just cross-eyed or speaking Swahili. That's what I thought in the beginning, but then I went back and read it once, and then I figured out what they were saying. So the whole 24-point system that they were referring to, when they gave the example about how if both teams were playing, if one team was up 195, they would add 24 points to the score in the fourth quarter because they wouldn't be running a time limit. It would be an untimed quarter, and whoever gets to that final score ends up winning the game. So what they were trying to say by that was, say, for example, LeBron's team is up 100 points to 95, right? The team with the lead going into the fourth quarter, they're going to add 24 points to honor Kobe, and whatever the total score is, so for this example, it would be 124. That would be the total score that you'd have to score by the end of that fourth quarter in order to win the ball game. So whoever gets 124 points first would win the All Star game. And that fourth quarter, I believe you get 300,000 or 200,000, I believe, if you win the fourth quarter. But that's what they were trying to say. I'm hoping that I explained that to you guys very well, or as best as I can. But they used the example. At first it didn't make sense, but then I read it and I figured out I was tripping. So hopefully you guys got it. But enough with that. I just wanted to put that at the beginning of this video because I literally just dropped that video a few hours ago. Now, to get back into this ball game, a lot of things happened. Cleveland, I'll give them credit where credit's due. They came out and they played a competitive game, similar to what New York Knicks played against us the other day. They were feisty. They were competitive. They wouldn't give up. Even though we went up by as much as maybe like 14, 15 points, they were fighting. They came out in that fourth quarter and balled out. Not going to lie to you. We didn't have our best not best offensive game. We didn't have our best defensive game, but we scored enough points to win the game. And you can see the difference with Marc Gasol out of the lineup. We seemed a little discombobulated. It didn't look like the team's offense was flowing as much as it would with Marc Gasol in the lineup. He's more of a facilitator that's out there as a second, not a ball handler, but a second facilitator that's out there with either Kyle Lowry or Fred VanVleet in different spurts of the game. But I mean, we're lucky that, that we play the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the stretch that we have coming, it's against teams below 500. So we just took care of business with Cleveland. Now we got Detroit tomorrow on a back-to-back, and then we travel back home to play Chicago on February 2nd. Another thing I want to say is congratulations to Kyle freaking Lowry for making a 6th consecutive All-Star game, six consecutive All-Star team, and the coaches voted him. Oh my God, I'm having a hard time speaking English, but the coaches voted him in, and every coach around the league knows how valuable Kyle Lowry is, and with him being in the finals last year and displaying his excellence, letting everybody know he's about that big time moment. He can make big plays, hit clutch shots, hit big time shots. Like, everyone saw how he was, and for him to win an NBA championship, it just took him to a whole nother level. And he's continued that stellar play into this regular season, even with having a little bit more on his shoulders with the departure of Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. So congratulations, Kyle Lowry. You know, he's the heart and soul of our team, the straw that stirs the drink, the engine, whatever you want to call it. He's the man. And he broke the record with the most All-Star appearances for our Raptors team in franchise history. And now we got two starters on our roster going to Chicago for the All-Star game. And another thing is, we got to win at least 2 of these next 3 games, including tonight. So since we won 1, we got to win 1 more game out of these next 2 games before Sunday night, to send Nick Nurse to the All-Star game along with Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam. And everyone on the team knows that. They're trying to do it. Dwayne Casey has already done it once with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. The first year the All-Star game got into this little change with the draft and everything. So, you know, this would be the second time for Kyle Lowry going to an All-Star game with his coaching staff, if he's able to get Nick Nurse this extra win or 2. But yeah, I just want to put all that out there. I'm blabbering a lot about the All-Star game, but all of this is literally right around the corner, so I got to get it all out while I can. But in that first quarter, though, there wasn't much to say. Like I said, the Raptors' defense wasn't great tonight. But Serge Ibaka had a nice thunderous dunk in that first quarter off of a Kyle Lowry dime. Chris Boucher also had a nice hard slam dunk down the lane with the Van Vliet dime. The Raptors ended that first quarter on a 7-0 run, and they were up 5 to end the quarter, 31-26. Second quarter comes along. Cavaliers respond to the Raptors' 7-0 run in that first quarter. The Cavaliers respond with a 7-2 run, and then Van Vliet hooks up Patrick McCaw, who made a nice cut with a nice dime to get an and one layup, but he missed the free throw. Serge Ibaka had back-to-back baskets to extend the lead to 6 to put us up 56-50. Darius Garland gets a go-ahead floater at the end of that second quarter to cut the lead to 4, and we went into halftime up 56-52. Raptors shot 46% from the field and 29% from beyond the arc at halftime. Like I said, the offense, it clicked in the second half, but it was horrible in that first and second quarter. Cavaliers shot just as bad with 44% from the field and 25% from beyond the arc. Raptors got killed. When I say got killed, Tristan Thompson, Larry Nance Jr., Kevin Love, Colin Sexton, even the guards, Darius Garland, all those guys were getting offensive boards. Cedi Osman, they're all getting offensive boards and just killing us on the rebounds. We were getting out-rebounded 31-16 in that first half. And the Raptors were also getting killed on offensive boards 7-3. But Raptors did take care of the ball. They only had 3 turnovers at half to Cavaliers' 11 turnovers. And Serge Ibaka continued to play his stellar ball every time he's in the starting lineup. This was his 15th start of the season with Marc Gasol out. And in the previous 14 starts, he was averaging 18 points, 10 rebounds. Wasn't any different today. He had, I'll get into his stats in a bit, but I know he had around 20 points for sure. That's a fact. He had 13 at the half. Chris Boucher, He doesn't get that many consistent minutes. But with Marcus All out, he's going to get his minutes. And he came out balling. Last game, he had 9 points, 5 boards in like 13 minutes. Tonight, he came out. He scored 8 points in 8 minutes to start the game. OG and Lowry had 9 points each at halftime. And like I said, Chris Boucher, 8 points in 8 minutes in that first half. Third quarter comes out. Raptors go on an 11-0 run at the end of that third quarter. There wasn't much to say about any details to put on oh my God. Woo! In that third quarter, there isn't much to say about both teams. I mean, they scored a lot, but every time the Raptors would go up 5, 6, 7, the Cavaliers would come back and respond and cut that lead to like 2 or tie the game. That's just how it was. It was all up and down, back and forth in that third quarter. But the Raptors were finally able to take a lead and stretch it out to I believe 14 at one point going into that third quarter. Going into the fourth quarter. The Raptors, like I said, went on an 11-0 run at the end of that third quarter. The biggest lead actually was 13 in that quarter. Larry scored 14 points. He went off in that third quarter. He showed why he was an All-Star, or why he's an All-Star this year. He had 9 points at the half. He scored 14 alone in that third quarter. And, the Raptors closed out that quarter in an 11-1 run. And Raptors were shooting 53% from the field and 43% from beyond the arc. So you saw their three-point shooting shoot up quick, 0 to 100 real quick. Fourth quarter comes out. Cavaliers respond. I said the Raptors were up 13-14. Cavs go up. Well, Cavs didn't go up in this game, but they did go on a 10-0 run to start that fourth quarter, and they cut the lead to 4, 92-88. Van Vliet ends that run with a transition layup. Raptors respond with a 6-0 run out of a timeout in 48 seconds. So Serge Ibaka gets an and one. The Cavaliers, they're so stupid for this. It was a clear charge because Serge Ibaka dipped his shoulder into Kevin Love. They were screaming about it. I thought they were going to get a coach's challenge, but the coach did not challenge it, even though it was obvious, and that kind of bit them in the ass because it was still a close game. At the end of the day, when you look at the final score, it was a 2-possession game, and that definitely could have been a momentum changer, but they didn't take it, and we converted the and one, and we went up 6 or 7. I think we went up 7. It was 97-90 when we got that and one with Serge Ibaka. But like I said, Raptors responded with a 6-0 run in 48 seconds with that and one, and then Pascal Siakam got a 3 as well, and the Cavaliers called a timeout. But then they respond with their own 9-0 run, and they cut the lead to 1. And it was just a back and forth affair. In that third and fourth quarter, it was just back and forth all night. First half, just horrible shooting, and it was it was a close game. And even in the third and fourth quarter, even though the Raptors pulled away, Cavaliers crawled back and got it to a close game, and they just wouldn't go away. And then finally, Norman Powell came through, and how I told you how I started this podcast, he got a dagger 3, stabbed a dagger right through every Cavalier's heart, every Cavalier fan's heart in that stadium with that dagger 3 in the corner, and put us up 4, 108-104. And, he did that. Then he got a steal, got a dunk, knocked down a few free throws, and that's all she wrote. Raptors took down the Cavaliers for the 100th time since LeBron James has left. There's a specific play that the Raptors always run that's always real, you just know, you see it about to happen before it actually happens. You'll see one of the point guards, like Kyle Lowry or Fred VanVleet, run to the right side of the court, and they'll run around and they'll get to the baseline, and then they'll whip it all the way across to Norman Powell, who runs to the left side of the three-point line, the very left corner, and he'll just get an open 3 every time. You see that play coming, but no one does anything about it because there's always a big dude, either Marc Gasol or Serge Ibaka, standing there, literally giving solid D screen, and no one can get across that, and it works now because Norman Powell's always money with that shot. Money with that shot, boy. Let's get into the individual stats. Individual stats. I'm just going to name the top leading scorers for the Raptors and the Cavaliers. But before we do, to end the game, the Raptors shot 49% from the field. That was 41 of 84. And the Cavaliers shot 42 of 90 from the field for 47%. Three-point shooting, Raptors had 12 threes, 12 of 32 for 38%. Cleveland Cavaliers shot 13 of 36 for 36%. Free throws, I don't know what it is, but we've been uncharacteristic with the free throws as of recently, and we shot 21 of 28 for 75%, and Cleveland shot 12 of 14 for 86%. Rebounding, like I said, we got killed from the get-go. We got out-rebounded by 52-37. That's a plus 15 for Cleveland. Offensive rebounds, same thing, 15 to 9, plus 6 for Cleveland on the offensive boards. Assists, we both had 23 apiece. Steals, we had 13. They had 7. Blocks, it was 3 apiece. And turnovers, we took care of the ball pretty good tonight. We had 3 in the first half, 10 in the second, for a total of 13. Cleveland had 21, so we were plus 8. Personal fouls, we had 20. They had 21, so we were plus 1. Stats, Pascal Siakam, 34 minutes. He had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 12 from the field, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, with 3 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers. Serge Ibaka, 33 minutes. He had 26 goddamn points. With Marc Gasol out, he always goes crazy. 26 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 10 of 14 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. Kyle Lowry, player of the game, 14 points in the third quarter, 6-time All Star. You know how he do. 37 minutes, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 of 16 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 of 6 from the three-point line, 4 steals, 3 turnovers. Fred VanVleet didn't have his best game, flirted with the triple-double, 36 minutes, he had 8.7 rebounds, 12 goddamn assists. 3 of 13 from the field was shit from efficiency-wise. No free throw attempts, 2 of 7 from the three-point line, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. I'm going to give credit to Norman Powell, too. It'll be co-player of the games. Kyle Lowry, you know what? 3 people. Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, Norman Powell. Whoever you want to give it to, you can give it to them. But Norman Powell, even though he didn't really look like he did a lot at the beginning, the last few minutes in the game he came clutch. 25 minutes, 16 points, 5 rebounds, no assists, 5 of 12 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 of 7 from the three-point line, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Chris Boucher, I'm going to give him a shout-out because he hasn't played for a while, but in 15 minutes he had 10 points, 4 rebounds, no assists, 4 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 0 of 1 from the three-point line, and he had a block. And those are all the main guys. OG, he had 9 points in 31 minutes with 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He just didn't do anything after halftime, really. He was 4 of 9 from the field, 0 of 2 from the free throw line, and 1 of 1 from the three-point line with 2 turnovers. He did miss 2 free throws. He missed a couple bunnies, but we'll allow it because, he's a big piece to our puzzle, and he did a lot of good stuff on the defensive end tonight. But the main guys for the Cavaliers, Kevin Love, 33 minutes, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 of 13 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 6 of 9 from the three-point line, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. Kevin Love was killing us from the three-point line tonight. It looked like he thought we were back in the second round or the Eastern Conference Finals, Raptors, Cavaliers with LeBron on his side, and every shot he took, he was just making it no matter who was in his face. Colin Sexton, 33 minutes, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 9 of 17 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 of 5 from the three-point line, 1 steal, 1 block, 4 turnovers. If y'all were watching the game carefully, did y'all notice a 2K lag with Colin Sexton in the game tonight? He had like a 2K glitch. Like he was just twitching on the court when Serge Ibaka was about to shoot the 3. We all know what he was trying to do, but I promise you there'll probably be a meme on that tonight. Or there probably is already a meme. Because as soon as I saw it, I looked at my brother. I'm like, bruh, Did you just see what this guy just did? Darius Garland, 35 minutes, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 of 16 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 of 4 from the three-point line, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. Kevin Porter Jr., 29 minutes, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from the three-point line with 1 steal, 7 turnovers. God damn. Okay, Larry Nance Jr., 26 minutes, 13 points, 9 rebounds, no assists, 5-10 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 of 2 from the three-point line, 1 block, no turnovers. And that's all she wrote. Tristan Thompson, I'm going to give you his stats as well. 27 minutes, he had 2 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 of 4 from the field, no free throw attempts, 0-1 from 3 that he airballed across from one side to the other in that first quarter, and he had 3 turnovers. You know, Tristan Thompson's been embracing all the Raptors. I thought it was just Kyle Lowry, but he was hugging up Pascal Siakam today like they were bros for life. I think he's really trying to come to the Raptors. I think he's trying to show love to everybody, including Nick Nurse. I mean, it helps that he's Canada's head coach now, the Canadian team's head coach. So I don't know if he's trying to come to Toronto to be relevant again, but that's what it looks like. And finally, to end things off with the Cavaliers box score, Cedi Osman, 22 minutes, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 of 8 from the field, no free throw attempts, 2 of 7 from the three-point line, 1 steal, 1 turnover. And that is going to do it for all the stats for the Cavaliers and the Raptors tonight. Raptors pulled off the win. They got their 9th straight W, 9th consecutive W, 8 consecutive road win. Those are both one of in our top, accolades when it comes to team history. I think they're both like the second best right now in terms of the longest winning streaks for on the road and just straight wins in Raptors franchise history. Next up, Detroit Pistons tomorrow night. We should be able to take care of business. Drummond's going to be a problem if Gasol doesn't play. But hopefully the Detroit Pistons, I was going to say they might not be motivated, but Dwayne Casey, every time he sees the Raptors, he will be motivated to play well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get this W. We get Nick Nurse into the All-Star game with Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, and call it a night and have an amazing 2020 All-Star weekend in Chicago, Chi-Town. But that's going to do it for now. If you enjoyed this podcast, you know what to do. You know what to do. You know the routine. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Show your boy that love. Show your boy that support. And we'll be back tomorrow night with the Pistons podcast. Check out my other video I dropped today on the All-Star, the All-Star game changes, the new rule changes. I dropped it a few hours ago, so if you haven't seen it already, check it out. Till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace!